Making another video for you guys. I'm here to make a video about the real pro-blacks versus the fake pro-blacks differences. The real pro-blacks back in the 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, they were more creative. They were more, they were more balanced. They were more about peace and harmony. They were about, helping other people survive. They were helping other blacks survive to start their own business back in those days. They fought for our civil rights. They fought for our freedom. They fought for us to get freedom and stuff like that. And they brought us together. They unified us and stuff like that. They gave us wealth. And stuff. Sponsors the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. The Black Panther Party, the old Black Panther Party doing it back in the 60s. Because the Black Panther Party back in the 60s and 70s, they gave children free food, free lunches and stuff, and stuff like that. Even though the black people were poor and all of that, and other children of color, they gave black children and children of color free food and stuff. They wasn't against the Jews. They wasn't against the anti-establishment. They were the far left, but they wasn't against the far left. They wasn't against Jews and anti-establishment. They wasn't against them like the new Black Panther Party, which is out nowadays, and stuff like that, which I can't stand them. They gave us free reign. You had black women and wearing natural hair, wearing afros and stuff, which I like the most. They had white people that did it as well, which was great and stuff like that. And I can't forget, John Lewis and Dick Gregory. May he rest in peace. He was a good guy, Dick Gregory, rest in peace. I might not agree with him, but rest in peace to Dick Gregory for everything he did to the black community and stuff like that. The real pro-blacks back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, they cared about everything. They cared about every crime. They were against any crime that was committed, whether it be the wrong drugs in the prison system, the black on black crime, and white supremacy and police brutality. They was against it all. They talked about it all too, which was a good thing, which these fake pro-black militants never talked about today. They always want to talk about one thing. They want to fight white supremacy, which they don't know anything about white supremacy. They don't know anything about white supremacy. They just don't know it about it. Because the real pro-blacks back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, they know about Jim Crow. They know about real racism. Then these pro-blacks, they using these white slave plantation words, which I can't stand the most. But the real pro-blacks were real. They were genuine. They was independent. They were more honest. They was more creative of all kinds and stuff like that. So let's talk about the fake pro-black militants. These fake pro-black militants, they blame the white man for everything. They blame the white man for everything. Yelling at the white man and stuff. These fake pro-black militants are using white supremacist slave terms to demonize us every day, which is stupid to me. They won't use the word coon and Uncle Tom, Sambo, bed wench, and stuff like that for having a different opinion and stuff like that. Like I said before, we have to learn how to agree to disagree. And that's what these fake pro-black militants are not doing. They are not. Every time you disagree with them, they call you these white slave plantation slave words that white supremacists used to make fun of our ancestors back in the 1800s. I don't really care for the fake pro-black militants. I really don't care for them because they fake and phony. They racist. They call them white. They saying that all white people are the devil, which is not true. There's some good white people out there. Like I said before, it's good and bad in every race. Whether you black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. You know, it's good and bad in every race. You know, and you got these fake pro-black militants out here are having sex with people that they hate. You know, if you hate white people, why are you having sex with them 24/7? You know, that is so stupid to me. If you hate white people, you should not be having sex with white people. You know, but they claim that white people are the devil, but you're having sex with them, you know, every blue moon, every day. You know, which is so stupid to me. The reason why they say this because they're trying to get back with the white man for having sex with his own woman. That is so stupid to me, man. You got these fake pro-black militants out here. They are so ignorant. They are so confused. You know, they racist. They worse than the KKK is. You know, especially the new Black Panther Party. You know, which I can't stand the most. You know, I'm not talking about all people in the new Black Panther Party. There's some good ones out there, but mainly these fake ones. You know, they're talking about. You know, they wish all white people are exterminated. You know, like I said, for you fake pro-black militants, you know, you probably have some white in your family. You know, you probably have some white in your DNA. Don't even know about it. You know, they don't even know about it. They have white in their DNA. You know, I think that we need to stop the divide and stop coming together as one. You know, the real pro-blacks wanted to unify. But the fake pro-black militants don't want to unify. They don't. They don't want. They don't believe in voting. They don't believe in helping anyone. You know, they want to complain about Joel Osteen. They want to criticize Joel Osteen for not opening his church. They want to criticize every black person for having a different point of view. You know, I think that black people, we should have a different point of view. We should have a different point of view in life. That's what we should have. We should have an independent opinion, and that's just the way it goes. You know, as we as black people, I'm an independent thinker. I'm not a group thinking affiliated. I'm an independent thinker. So, you know, I care. I talk about black on black crime and anything else, police brutality. I'm just as much against both. I'm against the war on drugs in the prison system. I'm against all three because it just doesn't make sense. You know, if it doesn't make sense when a rich white person get caught with drugs, he gets sent to rehab. When a poor black person gets caught with drugs, he gets sent to prison for like 30 years or 40 years, which is so stupid to me. You know, I think the prison system needs to be reformed. You know, it needs to be reformed. And these fake pro-black militants are really not talking about this because they really don't fit their narrative. They don't talk about black on black crime and stuff like that, you know, which is going on around the country. I believe that black on black crime is an all-time high in the black community. And a lot of people don't know it. Every time you talk about black on black crime, you get called a racist slave term, you know, which is stupid that these fake pro-blacks are using to demonize us every day. You know, the word coon and Uncle Tom and other slaves doesn't really bother me as much. It doesn't really bother me, it really doesn't, because it's sad that we don't have, you know, real pro-blacks anymore. You know, we got these fake pro-black militants around the country. They want to blame the white man for everything. You know, they don't want to be responsible. They don't want to take care. They don't want to be responsible for their own actions. They don't want to talk about self-responsibility. They don't want to talk about none of that. You know, we need to be talking about self-responsibility in the black community. We should not focus on racism too much. Don't get me wrong, you know, racism does exist, you know, but it comes to a time where we need self-responsibility. That's what we need in the black community. We need self-responsibility and stuff like that. So we need to be talking about black on black crime. We need to be talking about that. That's what the real pro-blacks talked about. And stuff like that. They were against the gangs. They were against the war on drugs in the prison system. They were against police brutality and stuff like that. But these fake pro-black liberals, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about everything. They just want to have this victim mentality. They want to praise Colin Kaepernick for everything, you know, which is not irrelevant because Colin Kaepernick is just a race hustler trying to get money. You know, I don't really care for Colin Kaepernick. I really don't. But we need to care about more things instead of just protesting against the white man, instead of just protesting against white supremacy. You know, don't get me wrong, I don't like white supremacy, but we need to stop protesting it so much because it's not getting nowhere. You're not getting nowhere in life, you know, and stuff like that. So I wish that we need to start unifying. And these people down there in Houston, these blacks and whites and Latinos are helping each other in Houston during that Hurricane Harvey, the worst hurricane behind Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. You know, which is a good thing. You know, they donate money to the victims and stuff, which is a good thing. You know, and black people, we need to wake up, man. It's more serious things going on than white supremacy. You know, it's more things going on in white supremacy, man. Whether it be black on black crime, whether it be the Hurricane Harvey, whether it be the out of wedlock birth in the black community, we need to be talking about that as well. We need to be talking about everything in the black community, because in the black community right now, I'm seeing a whole bunch of students. I'm seeing a whole bunch of stupidity that's going on. You know, I'm seeing a lot of ignorance in the black community. I'm seeing a lot of ignorance. It sucks, you know. As black people, we need to wake up and start doing better, and stop dividing. Stop all this dividing. Stop all this hatred, and just wake up. You know, we need to wake up in the black community. We need to better this country. We need to start our own businesses in the black community, because black people, we're not doing for self anymore. We're not starting our own business. We just want to sit up here and blame the white man and the system. We need to stop blaming the white man for the system and stuff like that, and start waking up. Like I said before, the white man is not our enemy. We're our own enemy in the black community. And that's how I feel about it. You know, a lot of people gonna get mad when I say this topic, but I don't care. I really don't. Because we as black people, you know, we failing everything. We're letting these fake pro-black liberals take out our lives. And these fake pro-black liberals are on Planned Parenthood, which is destroying a lot of black families across America. So we need to get out of that mindset. We need to stop relying on the government for everything. We need to stop relying on the government and stuff like that, and start waking up and start bettering ourselves in the black community. We need to start having more self-responsibility. We need to be more. We need to be more, you know, smarter than this, you know, and stop trying to be the victim and stuff, you know, as black people, and stop killing each other as black people. You know, we need to wake up here, man. We need to stop this black on black crime. We need to stop it. It's going on everywhere. So, like I said, for we our own worst enemy in the black community. I just said it how I see it. So we need to have more better sense in the black community, and start doing more work in the black community. Start building families. Start having kids in wedlock in the black community, and stop all this ignorance, stop all this buffoonery, stop all this nonsense that's going on in the black community, and start being more serious about raising our families and stuff. You know, the truth, I know the truth hurts, but it is what it is. We have to hear the truth. You know, we have to hear the truth in the black community. I'm sorry, we have to hear the truth in our society. You know, we need to get rid of these fake pro-black liberals and start getting more real pro-blacks out there. Like I said, there's some good pro-blacks out there, but we need more good pro-blacks out there. You know, they're going to focus on black crime, the wrongdoings of the prison system, and police brutality, and everything else in the black community that's corrupt. But anyway, this is Justin Williams. You know, feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, and add me on Facebook. I'm out. Peace.